We deserve better. Nous méritons mieux.
One federal government ministry seems to be hiding the government's involvement in a partisan Liberal event with the Governor General on Trudeau's latest censorship law. Unfortunately, a second government agency may have accidentally spilled the beans. Today, I'll show you how two agencies were hit with simultaneous access filings by Rebel News and therefore did not have a chance to get their stories straight.
The other thing that's really critical to understand, David, is that people talk to me about freedom of expression. I'm duty-bound to defend that and always will. It is a charter-protected right. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution.
Last month, the Governor General, Mary Simon, defied all nonpartisan conventions of her office and engaged in a partisan Liberal event promoting a flagship piece of Trudeau legislation. Simon hosted a roundtable about the Online Harms Act, a piece of onerous censorship legislation that has not yet been passed, but which makes hurting someone's feelings online a criminal offense. It also makes hate speech a crime with a maximum sentence of life in prison. The odious law will allow for anonymous hurt feelings complaints, which could precipitate $20,000 in fines. Simon's roundtable involved notable publicly funded left-wing internet whiners like anti-parent trans activist Faye Johnstone, the Public Health Agency of Canada's Theresa Tam, and, of course, unemployed TikTok journalist Rachel Gilmore. They were all there on the necessity of Trudeau's law pushed by Arif Virani, his justice minister, who was also part of this roundtable.
I deserve better.
Je mérite mieux.
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 We deserve better. Nous méritons mieux.
You can learn more about Simon's abuse of her nonpartisan role and sign the petition at firesimon.com. Now, Rebel News, well, we did what we do. We filed for access documents about how Simon's partisan and completely unbalanced roundtable came together and how the attendees were selected to skew the event's tone. The first department we hit with an access filing? Justice. How did the Justice Minister come to be at the Governor General's event? And did anyone in the ministry have any apprehensions about this partisan event at the so-called nonpartisan Governor General's residence? We asked for all internal communications on the event, and Justice says they have none. So the Minister of Justice just wandered into Rideau Hall and walked in to find an event promoting his legislation with no briefing notes or emails or anything? Sure. Sure he did. The next department we hit was the Public Health Agency of Canada. The request was the same. All the internal communications, this time on Theresa Tam's attendance at Simon's disgraceful event. And guess what? The response was completely the opposite. Still no records were turned over, but not because there were none, but because there were too many. In fact, Public Health took a delay of 105 days because they need extra time to round up a, quote, large number of records, unquote. We can submit a complaint to the Commissioner of Information, and we will. I mean, how does one agency have so many records on a roundtable on a piece of legislation, and the other ministry, the one with the minister who's behind the legislation, has no records? It's unbelievable. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. We won't let the Justice Ministry get away with this very weird cover-up. We will appeal. To offset our research and filing costs, please consider making a donation at rebelinvestigates.com.